Okay, I think we're on. We're up. Right,
Hello.
hello world. Hello, Jonny.
Hello.
So yeah, I thought I wanted to catch up with you and say hello. And we're in C2C together. We've been set this challenge to go live. So yeah, I just thought, right, I'll pick you. So yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, bit chilly. I'm in Belper in Derbyshire, so like the middle of the country, and yeah, it's a bit rainy, but you know, a bit grim.
It's been raining here as well, and I'm in Surrey, but I took my son out for a bike ride this morning, and he
Oh,
had the best time ever. He was just like running through the puddles, and it put a smile on my face. So the rain doesn't
yeah.
bother
Next, yeah, same. So I'm half Scottish. So
me. Okay.
again, like yeah, grey, like rain, but also I'm half South African, so I get the sunshine on that side. So it's both.
What a mix. What a mix.
Yeah. So I wanted to just sort of find out a bit more about your business and how you've got to this moment in time. So I mean, just start big.
I think I'm gonna have to throw these questions back on you as well. Yeah. My name is
Yeah.
Jonny. I am a mindset coach and a psychotherapist specializing in just working with men. So I have two sides of my business. One is a private practice where I just see men, and one is a coaching business, predominantly working with business founders, execs, leaders, um, doing that. And basically where that came from was I had retrained as a therapist after being an actor for almost 15 years, and realized that although I'm very passionate about mental health, obviously, and people being in good headspace, especially men, and men having a kind of open door to begin to talk, that I realized I didn't want to just be working in like crisis and management mode. I wanted, it's like something I'm really passionate about is like championing people, encouraging people, seeing them kind of reach their potential, and going after crazy dreams that they're not, they've kind of excused themselves from for whatever reason. And so that's why I got into the coaching side of things as well. So I do both side by side. I'm equally passionate about both of them. So that's kind of where I got where I am today. If you asked me 10 years ago, did I think I'd be doing this? I'd say absolutely not. So it's
Mm,
not in my bingo card of things that was on my career list, but I am
mm,
so passionate about it now.
mm,
Be out of bed with a step in my, a spring in my step, and I love
mm.
it. So yeah, it's really great.
Wicked. Yeah, nice. And then so acting wise, was that kind of theatre, film, TV, everything or
It's a bit of everything. Yeah, I mainly did theater and TV. I
mm.
also did a little bit of radio, which nobody listens to, let's be real. But it's a
No, no.
great gig. Don't have to learn your lines, rock up, read the script a couple of times, put on
Amazing.
a voice, give it a crack. So
Yeah.
predominantly theater, worked in London a lot,
Mm,
West End a little
mm,
bit, and
mm.
yeah, a lot of TV with broadcasters like BBC, Netflix, Channel 4, Sky.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
And
good.
so, like, so I love the theatre as a punter. That would be one thing that I would be petrified to do, which probably tells me I should do it. I should get on stage and I should do it because I think, yeah, the idea, like, how incredible is it as a punter? I just love it to go to the theatre, like film, totally swept away like a book. You know, you kind of immersed in that world. Um, yeah, what's it like to be on stage? Looking out and kind of repeating the same sort of having the same practice, the same performance, but obviously I guess each one can slightly be a bit different sometimes. So
For sure, and the amount of messing going on stage that audiences will never know about is like unbelievably unprofessional. I'll tell you that for free, especially on West End when they've been doing it for months and months and months. The longest
yes,
I ever did was 6 months, and I was going slightly crazy by the end of that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
so I predominantly was doing either like new writing or plays,
Mm,
Shakespeare, things like that. So I was
mm.
never in a contract. I never did a play for like a year. I would have gone insane, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but there are ways that you keep it fresh. Either with the cast that you've spoken about, you just try something different a different night. And to be honest, that's what keeps it alive. If you're kind of just
Mm,
running through the motions, saying the lines in the same way every night, it's going to get stale, and the audience pick up on that as well.
mm,
I loved it. I think there's nothing like, and this is more and more important, there's nothing like live events, whether that's
mm.
music, keynotes, networking events, anything, as long as they're good and they feel like you're having a good time, I think that become more and more important to society, almost like they were, how important they were like for the Greeks and Romans, because we're so glued to our screens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's that sort of, again, I love the idea, because I'm just thinking of being in theatre where, you know, something funny's happened and you can't laugh. Like I don't know. I suppose you just turn away from the audience and go upstage. How do you?
That has happened before. Yeah, I remember once I was like, I missed my cue, but I didn't just miss it. I missed it by a long.
Oh.
I heard the cue on the tannoy in my dressing room. Like
Mm.
I was in my dressing room and I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be on stage like in 2 seconds. I had to like run downstairs. I had to get a bit of kit. It was like a long way to get to the stage. And
Wow.
it must have felt like 10 minutes for the actors on stage just waiting for me. And anyway, I finally got on stage, did my bit. And as I walked up, I won't use the exact words that the actor used then to me on stage, but our backs were to stage and he said, "Where on earth were you?" So yeah, it can happen that you get people who are messing around, but honestly, it just keeps it interesting because you can't just go stir crazy. Whereas with TV or film, you might just get 2, 3, 4 shots at it and then you move on and it's done.
Or like, I'm thinking like the soap stars, I was talking to them, because I don't watch the soaps, but I know people, obviously they're really popular, people love them. They, friends that I've learned recently at the weekend that are really good. My best friend, her sort of partner, loves Corey and Emmerdale, and I was like, what? And I've known him for 7 years, and I never knew that about him. I'm like, no way. So
they do like 1, 2 takes and then they go. Yeah.
This is what and the sort of the dedication, the workload, the kind of commitment. It's and then obviously if you've been in a soap for 20 odd years, to then flip out of that identity.
They pay really well. You're staying it
Do
for a
they?
while.
Okay.
Well, yeah. There's a reason that the lawyer did 10 years.
In Bill, or whatever. Stood in it.
You need to tell me about you, Kirsten, and what it is you're helping people with. What main problems are coming to you, and how is it helping?
Yes. So, like I said, I live in Belper. But yeah, I was born. I'll do a quick pot history. I was born in South Africa. Left there when I was 7. Lived in Sussex for a bit. Then went to Aberdeen, where my dad's side of the family were from, and then came to Derby. So I've been kind of all around. Went to uni in Liverpool. So definitely have like a bit of a nomadic, part to my character. I'm like, let's just, and the change. I love change. I love kind of newness, and right, let's try this and let's do that. So it's that's probably quite a unique part of my personality. So I was a primary school teacher for nearly 20 years. Loved it, loved the kids, but just obviously for that amount of time I found I was starting to get really burnt out. It was really challenging with the workload and how the kind of just society, I suppose, how the children I was teaching, because I taught 5-year-olds who I love because they're just in the moment, they're very honest, say what they think, and just fun, So and just kind of seeing how things were changing for the children, for the families, problems that they were coming with, and it was tough. And I knew I didn't really want to, although I was sort of like a deputy head, so I've had a bit of leadership experience, but I didn't want to be a head or an Ofsted inspector or any of that kind of authority. I very much wanted to be authentic to me and what I believed, and again that kind of framework of compliance and curriculum, all these different constraints. And I was finding like, this is internally, just know, don't you, this is not gelling well with who I am and that real identity piece. And I'm a mum as well, so my son's now 14, but again it was like almost served whilst he was younger, and now he's kind of grown up a bit, and there's that sense of freedom of actually I can have agency about what I want to do with my life, and just the freedom of having my own business. So I'd decided to leave, worked at the university for a little bit, in like the apprenticeship space, but again interesting that education from 5 up to 55, 65 is exactly the same constraints, and I was like, enjoyed the people that I work with, but again, just like everyone's just struggling. So I was already coaching within that kind of at the university, and naturally just helping people and listening and caring and campaigning and championing, all that sort of feel. And then so I set up my business a couple of years ago, and so I work with mostly female senior leaders, but I'm sort of open to everyone, and I keep slightly pivoting, so I'm always working with leaders. Initially it was with females leaders in a whole range of different fields, and I've kind of gone a little bit back into schools now, because again, that's my background. And I've kind of recognised that a lot of, so it's not just female heads, it's male head teachers as well, but a lot of head teachers, they're just lonely, they need a sounding board. There's just, there's a lot of pressure, a lot, monitoring, Ofsted, public kind of, monitoring, which is obviously really challenging. And then behind closed doors, it's that idea of you're leading your team and who are they talking to, and I think coaching, like I'm sure you'll sort of build on this, but it's just transformational, isn't it? It's I think unless you've been coached, I think people don't always necessarily understand how powerful it is. And I think that was sort of looking back through my experience, that's probably was the missing piece when I was teaching, that I loved the children and I loved teaching them and kind of having that energy back from them, but I also really enjoyed coaching the other adults that I was working with. And I was finding that there was a lot of constraint there, because I wanted to campaign and enable them to sort of grow and flourish, and there was a lot of, but you can't do this and that's not going to happen, and that negativity. And so I just thought, this is not the right place for me. I need to do my own thing and really sort of help others outside of that constraint, and just to try and just shine a light. Basically, it's that partnering, isn't it, which is amazing when you can walk alongside someone and they're doing all the transforming and growing, and you're like, you've done it yourself, and they're like, what, and that's the magic, isn't it, I think.
I love that. So when you say coaching, for people who are like skeptical or they don't really understand what it is, what is it you actually do to help people? Because that's all like good business chat of like who you help and like pivoting and all the rest of it. Like practically, what is that, and what does it look like?
So the way I work is normally there's a discovery call at the beginning. So somebody would contact me, or it might be I've met someone at a networking event and they're like, oh, what do you do? So it tends to be we kind of jump on a call, or it can be face to face. I like a walk, so I tend to do like a bit of a walking chat as well. So we'll have a little chat with a potential client and see what the problems are, what blocks they might be having, because again, we as people, there's so many different avenues that you can go down. So it's trying to just sort of figure out, well, what is it that you'd like your support with? And then again, normally I work with people online, but it can be face to face as well. So it's sort of, I'm happy to work with the person however they prefer. Some people like to have a monthly coaching session. Some people like to do it, blast it out in a week and do it really intense and just kind of get going with whatever they want to whatever problem they want solving. So it's sort of, it's flexible really. And within the session, it tends to be a chat, a conversation. So we'll start by saying, right, what we're working with today. Again, sometimes it might be a bigger picture problem that's kind of we're chunking up. Sometimes it's just literally, this morning this happened and it pissed me off and I don't know how to sort it. Or there's often problems with just that sounding board, the leadership idea of not wanting to look silly, basically, or like not very confident. That's often, there's a confidence piece that people come to me a lot with as well. And then sort of towards the end of our coaching session, so typically it's 6 sessions, can be longer, can be shorter. Towards the end, I'll start then talking about sustainability, so how that person will then manage without me kind of chatting with them, because that's really important to me, is that person has got the tools ready to go. I can deal with this. And obviously I'm always there. Sometimes people come back a bit later going, actually this is a situation and I need a bit of your enthusiasm, encouragement. Just that sort of, it's the partnering which I think is really important for coaching, which is different to therapy, where the therapy is kind of maybe looking at what past patterns. Coaching is very much momentum, what's happening now and how we're going to utilize that for the future.
Amazing. I love that you said there at one point, like, it's really important to me that they can go off and sustain this on their own with some things that they've discovered. For somebody who's maybe low in confidence or wants to be performing at a better level or wants to kind of go to that next level, insert cliche phrase here. What is it that you could give somebody today on this call?
I think obviously this is the other thing to probably debunk as well. Like, as a coach, I'm sure you're the same. I get so much out of it as well. So I am learning all the time from every single conversation that I have. My biggest thing, because sometimes obviously I'm human, my confidence level, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm not really sure about it, doubting and worried about things. So I think the confidence piece is literally my biggest takeaway is just have a try. Literally get out of your own head and just do it. And it's because often we create this big issue in our mind of, well, I can't do this and I'm not, and whatever it is, it's like, that's bullshit. Just do something, just do it, and actually you'll go, okay, that was all right, and actually I bloody enjoyed it.
Love that.
What about you? What's your kind of practice, your working practice when it comes to coaching?
So I have a set 12-week program that is bespoke to the client themselves. But obviously, like you said, what's the problem? What are the obstacles? Where do you actually want to get to? And for a lot of people, it is often around, a lot of people I'm working with, it is either around starting a business or the early stages of business. So often like founders, but also, execs and leaders who are like, I've got everything and I feel miserable. They're the two kind of clientele I often work with. And so it's mapping out what on earth is going on, beginning to do a little bit of internal work of like, where are you right now? What is it what are your current blockers? What are the things you're scared of? What is it you're dreaming about but you're squashing down and don't believe it? And beginning to look at some value-based things. So what is it that actually directs you? What values direct you? How are they in tension with each other? And which ones are serving you and which ones aren't? It's really helpful in terms of like understanding where you got to put your time. And one thing that gets stops a lot of people is just getting stressed and overwhelmed. Like, I don't know where to start, what to do, or in terms of the exec being like, my plate is just so full. So learning a lot about your nervous system, learning like what's getting in the way, somatic work, what's your body telling you, which bits do you need to listen to and which bits do you need to tell to shut up. And then on in, it is getting as many reps in as possible. One of my favorite phrases is like, failure is far more useful to you than a win. Because you get information from it. You understand what it feels like. You understand what went wrong, what went right. And from there, you actually begin to build something, both internal confidence and also wider. I also believe hugely in community and relationships. And so there's very few people in the world who have built businesses or work at a high level on their own. Like the best people in the world have teams. Steve Jobs had a huge team to build Apple. Like, there's not many people who can do it on their own. And so looking at relationships and how well they're working as well, continually working to where the client wants to get to. So we do that over 12 sessions. And then what happens is after that, a lot of the time people are like, I want to stay on. How do I stay on? And then we have what I'm building at the moment is a group program and a community predominantly entrepreneurs and founders who just need that either get something off their chest, have a bit of a mindset shift, and also chat all things business. So that's how I'm currently operating.
Amazing. Yeah, it's good. I'm sure you're the same. It's just those tweaks. I love it where it's like, right, this is going well, or no, I don't. Being sort of self-made, you're like, right, no, I don't need to me, myself, and I can just go, no, I'm going to get rid of that one. Yeah.
Like you said, you started your business for freedom. We always try to have this like altruistic look on things. You're like, no, I swear it's all about the clients. And yes, it is. But the reality is most people get into this because they want freedom for themselves, or they want to prioritize their family in a different way. And, so for me, I'll never be on a call on a Friday, for example. Even a new client could be like, can I come on board on Friday? And I'm like, that's a no from me.
Yeah. But again, like, so my sort of, just the journey that I've had, it's the boundaries, and that's obviously teaching. It was wonderful, loved it, but so much energy. I was prioritizing that because I had to, but of course it's knowing the boundaries and learning to go say no and all of that stuff of recognizing like, that's okay, I need to just go, that's not okay for me, or and you don't know that until you're kind of in that moment. And I did a lot with clients who are just that burnout phase, and they can't ask for help. So that's a massive part of my business, is to be able to reassure and to comfort and to say, well, actually, I've been there, that's okay, like there's no judgment. That's another massive point about coaching. It's everything's welcome, and let's unpack that and chat it through, and which is amazing. And I love somatic work. That's again a big core of my way of working. It's amazing.
Good, isn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of What's one thing you want your audience to take away today, Kirsten?
Just to get to know me, really, to see what I'm like, and just enjoy it. And it's been good, and we didn't even talk about addiction, so because that's what we were thinking of, but another time.
Next time.
What about you? What were you hoping people would take away from
hoping
today?
everyone comes and works with me. That's what I'm hoping.
No, absolutely.
I'm hoping people get a little bit of an insight to what it's like to run your business, what coaching really is and what it isn't. And also that the help is out there should people want it, and it really works. People really get results off the back of coaching. So if you ever need it and you're watching this and thinking, I'm not sure or whatever, just jump on a call with somebody who you like the look of and see how they could help you. It's worthwhile.
Absolutely, brilliant. Thank you, Jonny. Amazing. Right, I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Kirsten. Bye.
Okay, see ya.